What's up, guys? I'm gonna try a new idea today. So I work on stuff a lot and I end up spending almost as much time editing these videos down. Not almost as much time as I do doing the project, but a lot of time, and it's delaying me being able to get the videos up, and I don't like that. So I thought it's a new idea. I'll try and get all my stuff in order and do one project in, basically it's not going to be one take, but it'll be really close to one take, so I can just splice a couple videos together and not have a ton of dead time. So I'm going to try this and we'll see how it goes. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, let me know and we won't do it again. But the project at hand today, this is my John Deere 1120 tractor, and I wanted a box blade for it. So I picked this box blade up. This is an Impact Implements 5-foot box blade. I didn't realize this when I went to pick it up. This is a category 0, which means these hooks are, these are for your bottom hooks on your tractor. These are, what, 19.5 inches apart. So this quick hitch I use on my John Deere, which I use on all my implements, is 27 inches apart. In between is 27 inside to inside. So the other problem is that even with these moved out, which I'm going to work on here in a second, this won't be high enough to reach my top hook on my quick hitch, so I need to extend this. So today's project is going to be real simple: unbolting these, cutting these off, and these were welded with these reinforcements around here. I think that was probably done to keep this tube from getting torqued or bent or warping when it was welded, but because they have this pin right here at 27, I think I'm not gonna have to worry about welding stuff on that side, like crazy reinforcing this. And if it starts to bend or something, I can always plate it later. But I think I'll be okay just to cut these off flush, move them right here, and weld them on. I may try and cut this. I'm gonna try and cut them like right this way. We'll see how that works. I don't want to leave a weak spot in the tube. So we'll get to work and we'll see how this concept works out. Let me know. All right, well, we're off to a good start, right? And the grinder completely blew up, as you saw. This grinder, this old DeWalt, woo, she's hot. And this thing has got me through so many projects. It's been a good grinder, but clearly shoving it down and boring on it was too much for it. So I like this. We'll see what we replace it with. I kind of been into the Milwaukee stuff lately, but maybe stick with the DeWalt because it works so good. You can see that this was, and I think I made a video about this in one of my longer videos. I cut through the cord by accident with a circular saw. So this thing was due for replacement anyway. It is actually out of nowhere starting to flurry on me, so I got to get all my tools inside before they get wet. You just, what's the saying, like, you can't win for losing. So I need to replace this. I cannot do this job with the cordless one, even though it is fantastic. It's brushless. It's a Milwaukee Fuel. I can't do it with this. It's just too much for it. It's going to blow it up. So I'll have to get another corded one, and that means this will turn into another multiple take video for me to splice together, but hopefully not as many as before. So let's go get another grinder and we'll be back. All right, I am back. I just got back from Home Depot. As you can see, it's a little bit darker, about 5 degrees colder, and some snow on the ground. But I did get a new Milwaukee grinder. I've always used on-off switches. I haven't really liked paddle switch grinders, but this will be my first one. My son's out driving the John Deere right on around. That's the noise you hear behind me. So I don't know if I'm gonna get this done tonight now. Had to go do the Home Depot run, but we'll get back to work and we'll try it.
Final production. Final production. Final production.
All right, guys. Well, I can't tell you exactly what happened. I measured. I got in a hurry because it was getting so late, and I welded this up without double checking my measurements. And I had it in my head that it was 27 between the things, and the pins were going on the outside, so they're like 28 just to allow that ½ inch of clearance on each side. But I forgot to account for the thickness of the hooks on my 3-point hitch. So now what I have is a hitch that's 28, and this is 27 inside and 29 outside, because these are 1 inch thick. So I managed to put it exactly in the middle. So I can't put the hooks to the inside, and I can't put the hooks to the outside. So that sucks because I welded these on here way better than the factory did, so they're probably not gonna come off. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll figure something out. Definitely not gonna be the easy, quick video. I don't know why I think they're always gonna be, because they never are. But yeah, I guess we'll call it a night. Alright guys, we're back, and instead of snowing, it is like sleeting, hailing, whatever you call this ice matter. I got Charlie helping me on this job again. So if you couldn't tell from the where we cut off there, with this lined up in the center, this is what we ended up with. These tabs dead center in the middle of my arms for my quick hitch. So that is a problem. Just like that weld's a problem there. But I think what I'm gonna do to fix it, these pins would be just spaced off enough to clear this space here on the quick hitch. But my buddy was saying I might want it to move a little bit, make it easier to load this onto the quick hitch. So I think I'm going to do two things today. I think I'm going to cut these off flush here and space them out enough to clear that. And I'm not going to try and cut these again because they're welded on so well, and this is already kind of reinforced with these lift eyes on this side. So I think I'm going to move these out, and then I'm going to cut something else to extend them just slightly and butt up against this, and then we'll weld it on both sides to kind of taper it in. If that doesn't make sense, hopefully it will once I do it. For my materials, I have no idea what these were off of, but they are really thick, and they're really close to the approximate thickness of those. So we're going to work with those today. I'm going to try and do as much of this inside the shop as I can, just because of the weather today. So going to get to work on that, and we'll see where that gets us. Hopefully we can get this wrapped up today. All right, Charlie's here for the moment of truth. Let's see the stub. I didn't measure any pins. Which, I mean, it's better than what I did last time, since I didn't really measure last time. There we go. So that's better. At least it fits. Now the other part of this project, I'm gonna have to do something with these. These are just standing way too far out. You're gonna have to weld something in there to reinforce those. All right, so the other thing that I need to do this, in addition to reinforcing those pin brackets, is this right here does not reach my hook for my quick hitch. So this was designed for category 0. I guess they have a shorter top to bottom distance, but they don't really, I've never seen a quick hitch for a category 0. I've never had a category 0, so I haven't looked into it. So this is like this really heavy wall hitch tube. What I was going to do was cut this, sleeve it, and weld it in, and that'd be strong. But I don't think it fits over it super tight, because this was basically made to be big enough to allow that size tubing to slide in and out. So it's not a tight fit. Now this stuff right here is the exact same wall thickness and everything, if you look at your wall thickness here, as this tubing here. I just found this stick of this back in the shed. So I'm kind of thinking there's no reason not to just cut this off, extend it up, and make it that exact height that it needs to be.
I'll find a production.
All right, like this project could hit any more snags, you're thinking. I was just going to measure and stick this on there. But the problem is, this just doesn't want to drop all the way down that hook, because this is infinitesimally too tight. So I guess I have a couple options there. I could hog those holes out a little so the pin would drop. I could cut this and extend it, but that'd be a lot more work. I'm not really wanting to do any more work on this. Not sure. I have another implement that fits like this, and what I do with that one is I just use a thinner pin of a higher grade, and it drops down the hook. I also noticed if you look down this, there's actually, whoa, sorry, there's actually daylight there underneath that. So it's possible I could loosen these, and this may have a little give to come down and give me some extra room. So I'm going to try that real quick and just see if that works. All right, so loosening those up, it did free up space, and it's actually really pissing me off how small, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, how small that difference is that does not fit in there. But it doesn't fit in there. So this still has a little play in it right here. So we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Not sure yet. All right, so what I did, I just hogged all these holes out a smidge using a step bit. I don't know if it'll be enough. I guess we'll see. Could not get closer. It's like it's unbelievable. It's almost like the universe is conspiring to make this not fit on here, to punish me for trying to put a Cat 0 attachment on a Cat 1 quick hitch. But you can see there, it just wants to go. It's so close. I wonder if we give her a little tap with the hammer. Just, I mean, if nothing else, it deserves it. I think we can agree that at this point it deserves it. Like it's starting on, it just can't go. It doesn't have anywhere to go. I'm gonna hog her out a little more with the step bit. All right, so I'll hog those holes out about as much as they've got to hog, because if I got to cut it apart, you know, I really don't care anymore at that point. And unbelievably, it still says no. It says no. You know, like you could 100% use this attachment with the pin in that top hook, because it'd be completely secured in these lower hooks, like you can't go anywhere. But at the same time, like if you're cutting and grinding and welding stuff, why not just make it right, I guess. All right, so what I ended up doing here is I went to Home Depot and I got a bigger drill bit. You can see it still fits quite tight. I just reamed the ever-loving hell out of these holes, and there's still some beef here. It's pretty thick metal. Like, I don't think it's actually going to be a problem, but it actually fits on that hook now. I also discovered the hook may need a little adjustment because it's bigger here than it is at the bottom. And then the other thing I did, while I was at Home Depot buying the drill bits, is I bought these washers. These are, I think, 5/8 washers, and the pin's pretty close to 5/8, a lot closer than these holes are now. So what I can do once everything else is done is you weld these like this, and that gives it a little more beef. It gives it a little more bearing for that pin to ride on. And then when you're done, you can actually cut them flush if you want, because you'll have twice the thickness of metal there. So I did pick up those as well. But for now, what I needed to get that pin in the hook for is so that I could measure the distance here between the top part of this and the back part. Alright guys, it's late. I'm finishing up. Not the way I wanted the project to end, but it is done. And I think it's done right. So let's check out some of the work that we've done. Alright. So I did weld those washers on. The welds got really boogery. They're decent up top and boogery on the bottom where those washers were melting and dripping down. I'll probably at some point grind those. Take this off and grind those down and re-weld them so they're smooth. This is my extension piece. I don't know how strong that'll be, like if it'll hold up. After cutting that, it did look like it was a little thinner than the pieces that were there, but I also don't see that piece bearing a ton of force. But if it is an issue, what I can do is just take a piece of angle or C-channel or box tubing and triangulate this down to this. And I may do that anyway. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I talk about this stuff and I end up doing it half the time anyway. I cut another piece of that 1/2-inch plate and I triangulated it back to those pins. This bypasses my splice and goes straight to the original one. And I think I got pretty good penetration on that, so I don't think those pins are ever going to be a problem. And the question is, how hard is it to convert something that's category 0 to category 1? It can be really hard. Maybe I should have just went with like the 6-inch pins like I had talked about. I really think this is going to be better for me. It's going to be way easier to put on with the pins spaced out. And I would have had to cut and weld the top anyway because it just didn't reach. So, didn't reach the top link. So thank you guys for subscribing. If you like this, if I made you smile, if you laughed when I screwed it up, hit like. It lets me know that people are out there in the internet and they they like seeing what I'm doing. It makes me want to make more videos. And if you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. I'm always working on either this tractor or the camper behind me or something else that has wheels and makes noises and is fun to play with. So good night everybody, and I'll see you all in the next project. All right, day 2 addendum to this project. Those welds, they're not pretty enough for me. I have to grind that down and re-weld the bottom of it. Honestly, just that one weld is going to hold that as much as it's going to do, but we'll make it a little prettier. The other thing I'm going to do is I got this extra piece of box tubing that we had left over, so why not weld it in from here to here and just, I don't know, why not? Make that stronger, strengthen it, reinforce it and all that. So I guess we'll just do that.
I'll find a production.
All right, actually finished reel this time. I'm not sure why I was getting such sloppy welds over here. I just ground it down. It's good penetration. I think one of the things was shot and gas regulator was turned down real low. I know it's really windy out. I'm sorry. I know these cameras pick up a lot of noise. But I think welding in this angle is going to really make that a lot stronger, especially since we had that splice piece in there. I'm not going to try and paint right now. I got the tractor here and the camper here. There's just too much potential for overspray, but as soon as we get a clear day, hopefully before too long, we'll get all these little bits painted up before they rust. You can see these gussets are already starting to rust in some of these other spots, but I'm just going to leave this here. I think this project was a success. It was a lot more work than I thought it would be. So with these extra things done, this is completely done. I'm not going to mess with it again. I still need to straighten out these rippers, but I don't need the rippers right now. So the box blade I can use to level out some stuff I got going on. So like I said before in the other ending, the second ending on this one, thank you guys for sticking around for this trip. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one. I've got some other stuff in the pipeline as usual. So try and stay warm, stay out of the snow and the wind, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.